What's up everybody, once again my name is Matt and welcome back to Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles X. In the last episode, we finished up the A Friend in Need Affinity mission. Now with that out of the way, we have all the requirements to start Chapter 6, so that's what we're going to do in this episode. Now, Chapter 6 is actually fairly short, however, there are a lot of story-based cutscenes and a whole lot of plot happening, so you are going to want to pay attention if you want the full grasp of the story. That being said though, let's accept this mission and start Chapter 6, Dark Matters.
Don't just stand there! Push back! We can't let them get close! Even our Skells are powerless before them.
Continuing to persist here is meaningless. It will only serve to thin our ranks.
After all this time, we've finally found a clue that may lead us to the Great One.
With respect, the phenomenon space surrounding this planet is only 800 exodents in diameter. 3 days at light speed is more than enough to scour it thoroughly. If the Great One or the Samar Federation homeland were here, don't you think we would have found something by now? It's one thing to engage the enemy all the way out near that forsaken chunk of rock they call Earth. But then to be swallowed up by that strange light and dumped off here in this primordial hellhole? Are we cursed? And trapped with humans of all things. It's like some sick joke. If someone told me this was death, I'd believe them.
All the more reason to persist. We must retrieve it if we ever hope to escape the confines of this phenomenon.
Grandmaster Luxo.
Speak.
I bring news.
Really? And he can be trusted? Most interesting. Yes, a most interesting proposal indeed.
What should I whip up today?
Oh boy, here we go again. Another one of those we're gonna eat Tatsu jokes. Let's just go with tandoori chicken, why not?
That is a great idea.
Oh, Tatsu spilled yogurt all over himself.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, Lindley's so understanding. Lindley accept Tatsu for who Tatsu is.
Well, of course. Now, while I heat the oven, you spread the yogurt down your back too, okay?
Okay. But, shouldn't Tatsu be cleaning off yogurt instead?
What? Don't be silly. We need it spread evenly for the tandoori sauce.
Tatsu is no chicken, Lindley. Tatsu is Tatsu.
Oh, right. It's tandoori chicken.
Tatsu is not laughing. Tatsu is not laughing.
Okay, it's
Now that was a meal. I'm impressed, Lynn. My team could learn a thing or two.
I'm glad you liked it.
But you didn't stop by just for a meal, did you?
No. You know me, Elma. It's about a job.
It would seem to us the good sir would like to pick our brain. Of course, we will gladly let him in one ear and out the other.
Almost, Elle. Almost that time.
An alien mech? What type?
No idea. It doesn't match anything on record as far as I can tell. No one's seen anything like it. It looks abandoned, too. Totally ripe for the picking.
Oh man, you're giving me goosebumps!
Right? It's located here.
That's pretty deep in Noctum. No wonder you wanted to talk to Elle.
Exactly. But here's the rub. The ganglion are after it, too. From what we can tell over Frontier Nav, they've gone after it several times already, and failed.
Well, yes, that doesn't surprise us in the least. That's tainted land.
Tainted? That doesn't sound good.
They are savage beasts. Ferocious, insatiable.
He's talking about these.
We didn't run into anything like that in Noctum, did we?
The tainted are territorial. They only dwell deep within a specific part of the forest there. Although it doesn't seem right to even call it a forest anymore.
Why do you say that?
Because the tainted devour any and all living things, apart from other tainted, that is.
You mean even mighty Tatsu not safe?
Indeed, you would be swallowed whole. The tainted would make no bones about you, I'm afraid.
Interesting. They must be formidable to be defeating the ganglion over and over.
But if what Elle says is true, it could work in our favor.
Right. Our bodies are artificial moons. If the tainted don't perceive us as living things, we might be safe.
Let's back up a sec. You reported all this to the commander? Our top priority above all else is supposed to be searching for the life form. Are you suggesting we set that aside to try and recover this mech?
Exactly. Commander Vandam is why I'm here. He specifically requested I enlist your team. It's just as you say. There's no time for us to screw around. And we still absolutely need to find the life hold. But remember, the fact is we're also dealing with hostile Xenos here. Xenos who destroyed Earth and want every last one of us dead. Xenos who also seem to want this mech, and desperately.
And if it's that important to them?
Right. What if it's a secret weapon, powerful enough to tip the scales?
Feels like a bit of a long shot, to be honest. But okay. Even if we can't use it, we should at least keep it from the ganglion. Count us in. Any objections?
No, ma'am.
Glad to hear it.
But if we're going to take this on, we'll need to keep it quick.
Roger that. Elle and Tatsu, you hang back. Unlike us, the tainted would target you guys for sure.
Oh, most considerate of you, good sirs.
Oh, Lindley! Lindley care about Tatsu after all.
Well, of course. After all this time watching over you and fattening you up, I'm not about to let my prize turkey go to some rabid indigents.
Everybody set?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
Someone's excited.
Just doing my job.
Speaking of which, it's pretty amazing you made White Whale crew at your age. You have family here?
My mom and dad passed away. They didn't make it.
That day? The attack on Earth?
No, sir. It was before that. An accident.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. My parents were both design engineers who worked on the White Whale project. But there was a mishap with the primary engine test. Still, it it's thanks to them and people like them that the rest of us are all still here, you know? They made the white whale spaceworthy, so they didn't die in vain. At least, that's what I like to think.
I see. So they gave you a spot on the white whale to say thanks. Thanks to your parents for all their hard work.
It's a debt I try to repay every day, helping out folks any way I can.
Don't misunderstand, Lau. Lynn earned her spot on the crew like anyone else. It was her talent and determination that made it happen. Her parents' positions provided an environment for her to learn in, but that's it. Lynn got to where she is now entirely on her own.
It's okay, Elma.
No, she's right. Sometimes I talk before thinking. Sorry about that.
Don't be silly. You don't need to apologize to me, sir. Now, shall we get going?
Well, that was awkward. Anyways, let's just add Lau to our party because, of course, he's a required member for this mission. So, one thing you will notice is that Lau is level 20 now. I did level him off screen because last time we used Lau was when we first went into Noctum, and I think we left him somewhere around level 15, so he would have been really underleveled for this mission had I not done that. Like, he still is kinda underleveled, I think. Ideally, you want to be around, maybe level 25-ish for this mission, but since, like, my main character is, you know, myself, Lynn and Elma are all around 26, 27-ish. That should make up for having Lau a little bit on the low side. Really, if anything, I just wanted to, like, have Lau be able to withstand a few attacks from the boss and not die instantly. Real quick, though, I'm going to go ahead and make it daytime. There's really no real benefit to doing this. I just, like, want to be able to see a little bit better. I also gave everyone, like, some upgrades in terms of both armor and weapons, so we look a little bit different now. My own character looks a little, like, weird, kind of like the Michelin Man, almost. I don't really like the design of this armor, but it was better than what I currently had, so that's just what I chose. I also did optimize, like, all of my characters, Lynn, Elma, myself, a little bit better with the arts and skills that they have, and I'll talk more about that later on, but for now, we're sort of invading another ganglion slash prone slash whatever those robot things are based. I think the robot things are ganglion, if I remember correctly. Not entirely sure. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit stealthy going through here just because I don't really want to repeat what happened in Chapter 5, you know, dying over and over and over again. So we're going to take the stealth route and try not and fight any of these guys if we can avoid it. It's a pretty short area that we're going through anyways, so I really don't see this being an issue. We do want to avoid that guy up here on the cliffside though, and I'm pretty sure he will move in a second or two, so when he does, there is our opening. We can just sneak right by him, and now we're pretty much in the clear. Now, if you look on the map, there are a lot of, like, those yellow squares for field actions. This is, like, a really good place to get a ton of different field actions. We'll be coming back here later on just because I really don't want to leave all those things behind. But for now, since we are in the clear, we're just going to run out of this base and keep going towards our objective. Like, we want to find whatever that new giant mech weapon thing is because it sure looked cool from the really crappy picture that we were shown back in HQ.
Which way?
If we go straight, we should hit some caves that lead to our destination.
Okay then, let's go.
So yeah, we can go to the right. Now, if you're wondering what's down there, I don't believe there's anything too important right now. Like, I think there's maybe one field action you can take care of. But, other than that, it's really a dead end. Because I did go down there in my practice file, but, memory's a little bit fuzzy. Anyways, we are going to have some new enemies that we're going to encounter a lot for, like, the next couple of minutes. And it's these guys. So, yeah, they just sort of, like, pop out of the ground and attack you. They're kind of annoying, not gonna lie, but while we're fighting them, I can sort of talk about some of the optimizations I made to each of the different characters. So I guess we'll start with Lynn. Obviously, Lynn is supposed to be a tank character, and I didn't really have her optimized or set up as really like a tank character, so I switched some of her arts around to sort of allow her to more aggressively draw aggro and be able to defend a little bit better against like different attacks and stuff like that. So I don't think she has too many offensive arts now, whereas prior she had like way more offensive arts than she probably should have. Now like most of her arts are defensive based, so that's one of the major changes that I made to her character. I did give her a couple of different skills, but I can't remember which ones I gave her off the top of my head, but I think they're all around level 3. Same deal with Elma. Gave her a couple of skills. Don't remember what they are, but I think they're all around level 3. But in terms of like my main goal for making my changes onto Elma was I wanted to turn Elma into a backstab / crit character. So a lot of her arts allow her to have like a higher chance of critical hitting and backstabbing enemies and stuff like that. There was also one art in particular that I read online that was really good on Elma, and that was, I think, Blood Sacrifice, which I think it actually reduces her HP to half, but it increases something. I don't remember exactly what it does, but I read online it was really good to put on Elma, so I put it on her, and I don't know, I guess so far it's been working out fairly well. Haven't actually played as Elma myself yet because, in case you didn't know, you can actually go into your party menu and if you put one of like these secondary characters like Elma where your character is, you can actually play as those characters, which is really good for sort of figuring out what you want to like set up those characters as. So I sort of like read a lot of stuff online, like what I can do to better optimize the characters, made those changes, but I haven't actually had a chance to go and play as them and really like play test the changes that I made. So I'm not really sure how exactly they work in battle yet, but I did read that they were good changes to make. So based on that is sort of what I did for my own character. You'll notice that I really sort of limited all my ranged arts, because obviously my character does way more damage with melee attacks, so I sort of got rid of a lot of my ranged arts, put more melee arts on, and one art in particular, Incendiary Edge. I have no idea why I did not use this before, because it is ridiculously strong. Like, at one point while I was going around and leveling up Lao, I figured out that if I use Offensive Stance, my green art, then my purple debuff art, and topple the enemy, if I do Rising Blade and follow it up immediately with Incendiary Blade, I can deal basically around 27 to 34k damage, which is ridiculous because that's literally just a matter of seconds and I'm dealing that much damage. So yeah, kinda good. I really regret not putting this art on sooner because it really just is so good. Like, look at that, man. I did 7,000, then 6,000 damage. Like, what even is that? That is insane. Anyway, so yeah, those are some of the changes that I made to my character. I think I did swap around my skills a little bit, and they should all be around level 3 now, but I don't remember which skills I actually chose. If you guys are interested, in the next episode I will like maybe go a little more in depth and show off like what exactly my characters are set up as, and really show you what arts I'm running with on like everybody, what skills I have, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as Lao goes, he's probably the least optimized of all my characters right now, just because I don't think Lao is too important. Like, I was talking to some of my friends, and I think he's only required like 8 times in the main story, so yeah, not exactly a hugely important character. So really, all I did was level him up to 20, bought him some new weapons and some armor, which I might even take off of him after this chapter is done, because if we're not going to be using him that much, there's no point in like giving him this super strong armor if he's really not going to be using it as frequently as, you know, maybe some other character like L, because I've been using L a whole lot recently. So maybe I'll take it off of Lao and put on L or something like that. Also, in terms of like what arts Lao is currently using, I don't really believe his character had any extra arts that weren't already on his art bar, so he's sort of just like running the default art setup for his character. I did sort of go through and level up some of the arts that I thought would be, you know, more useful, but that's really all I did to his character. So like I said, the least optimized out of like everyone that is currently in my party. Anyways, here we are in Dead Man's Gulch.
This means we're getting close.
Yeah, it's just ahead.
Elma?
Relax. They won't bother us if we don't bother them.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but...
Yeah, I'm kinda with Lynn on this one. Also, whose idea was it to send a full party in here to test out, you know, if the Tainted would go after us or not? Like, shouldn't we have sent maybe, you know, one person in here instead of risking an entire team? Whatever. So, believe it or not, we're actually almost done with this chapter. Like, all that's really left to do is take on both the boss fights, and then I'll watch a ton of cutscenes. So, yeah, we're fairly close to being done already, and I think this is probably a good place to end off the video. It might be kinda short, but, I know the fights are going to take up a lot of time, so we're going to have to save those for the next episode. If you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But, once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.